got it. So my next question, will be more spread. So as I understand also, the Copenhagen interpretation is, and Zara Samaza, they are not deterministic.
No.
And the Bohm gave deterministic interpretation.
You're right. It's one of the criticisms that people put in front of Bohm.
So if they say we don't know and we don't want to know, he is trying to determine what's actually was, or at least to give a chance to determine.
Yeah.
And he thinks that it was determined, but just we could not get that.
Yeah,
right?
we don't know the exact.
Exact. Okay, so what if really observer, someone who determined? So before the observation, it was freedom existed.
I didn't catch again.
Okay, like you and me as a subject of has a free will. This is my version of what's happening.
Okay.
We are subject of free will, and in some way we determine the reality. You know, probably this is kind of philosophical point of view now also, that each subject, it calls constructivism in philosophy.
Yeah, I know.
That each subject interpret reality in their way, and in some way each of us is determined the reality.
Okay.
No, like from my subjective point of view, I determined that you are here. Like if I would not be here and I was not construct, you would not come here. So it's kind of my determination. So it more or less could be like that in our world, but maybe the same happened with the particles.
What is the same? In what way?
The same means that.
Let's say I'm a particle. I'm an electron.
So
in
before.
what way I'm free?
Right. Before. And I'm observer, right? I'm observer.
Okay.
So before the observation, there was not you as a particle or as a wave or as something. You was a freedom. But I decided that I want to find out particle or something. And I create an experiment. And because of me, the particle appears from, like you appear here.
Okay, that's a legitimate interpretation.
Да.
But it's completely not what I think and what Bohm thinks.
Uh-huh.
It's completely a different
Mm-hmm.
interpretation. This interpretation gives a major role to the human observer.
Да.
That decide like this or like this.
Да.
Yeah.
To define the reality.
Yeah. Bohm said, I don't believe, I do believe that there is a resemble between quantum mechanics and human consciousness, but I don't believe, I don't think that human consciousness is so crucial in the physical world, till that what I decide tell the electron, I am the electron, where to go. This I don't believe.
Why?
It gives human beings a too big role in the cosmos.
Why two?
Because I think
Isn't it you as a human being with a big role judge the big role of human being? While saying that, you pretend in generally that you have a big role, so you can compare and decide, oh, human being is not good enough.
I don't
Understand
say
my
it's not-
point?
No.
I mean, you have a too big role. So you actually in this...
What do you think happened? I'm an electron,
Да.
okay?
You
And you're a
can-
human being. What
Right.
do you think happened with me when you were not on Earth? I was not, and there were no two-slit interference. There were no two-slit experiments. I mean, accidentally, not that someone arranged it. All quantum effects began only when human beings start to evolve. I don't think it gives something exaggerate in my eyes. I mean, I would like to say to לתאר, to it's my wife.
Look, she as a human being defines the reality now.
Yeah, that's right. אחים, אני באמצע רעיון עם טטיאנה על תורת הקוונטים. מתקשר אליי. כן. אוקיי.
Ладно, let's move to the same but from another side.
סבבה.
As I understand, the problem which Bohm and other physicists tried to solve is what really exists.
Exactly.
Exactly. So, coming to that, how they, or you at least, defined the existence. Do you understand the question? What does it mean to exist?
I'm not sure I have a good and precise answer to this question. Maybe I will try to refer to it and say, I don't believe that devils and witches and gods like Zeus and Athena and all these things exist. They exist in my mind or in human mind, but they are not, there is no place in the cosmos where they really alive and acting. Okay?
Let's be precise. What does it mean to exist?
Okay, so I
To
started...
have a matter.
No, what?
To be material, to be perceived by somebody.
Perceived? What do you mean
Да,
perceived?
perceived, but there is observer. We comes back to all this sound of the tree somewhere in the forest story. You mentioned it today, right?
Which one?
Zen koan about...
If I'm not looking at the
Yeah.
moon, I don't believe that it doesn't exist.
Да.
Okay.
I'm not about believing, I'm about existing. So I see that there is a different point, like matter exists, sound exists, because you perceive it. If you would not perceive it, there would not be any sound.
Again, say it again.
You know, this sound is not exist without you. This is one
I think yes.
position.
I think it exists, even if I'm not existing. If I'm in this minute
Okay.
will not perceive it, this sound will still be effect in the world.
What does that mean, that it's existing? If there is no observer, it has a matter or what?
It leaves a trace in the world.
Nobody can see the trace.
Nobody can see the trace. I
So
don't,
what means the trace in this case, if nobody can see the trace?
maybe 5,000 years from now will come someone, maybe it will not be a human being, maybe it's a chayzar, I don't know what, and will found a trace of this
Okay.
sound.
But
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay, but I haven't been saying human being, I said observer.
What do you mean by observer?
Observer could be extraterrestrial by subject. Somebody who perceived.
Somebody, why do you need someone to perceive?
Okay, give me another definition of existence.
I don't have in this minute a good definition for existence. Maybe later, maybe
Okay.
if we talk about it more, it will come up. But now, what does it mean to exist?
Да.
Let's leave it because I see that I don't have a good definition in my eyes, and maybe it will come up in a while or tomorrow or this evening. I
Ладно.
don't have a good answer.
Да. We have more time. Still exist.
Ask this question. Does a life after death exist? In my eyes, not. What do you think?
I think it's mystery.
Yeah, it's
I
mystery.
will-
I don't know the exact answer.
But
I don't know the exact answer.
so
And there are people that say that they have connections to things, or to, I don't know how to call it. It's not human
spirits,
beings, but
souls.
souls and all this, and they talk with them and they guide them. Maybe, I don't know, but in my eyes,
But when you die, you will know.
okay, or I know, or I don't
You
know.
will come to me and say, "Oh,
If there is something after this, I will know. If there is nothing, so there will be nothing.
Да.
There will be black hole. I don't know what it will be.
Right." But we come to the subject
Of existence.
of yes.
What does
So
it mean to exist?
Да.
Okay, I don't have a good answer.
But you are not accepting the answer.
Which
That
answer?
exist means to be perceived
Perceive.
by subject, any subject.
In what way a stone is perceived?
Like you go and you see the stone.
No, but
on
there
your-
is no. We are in a world without human beings. In what way?
Do you think that such words exist? How do you know that it could exist?
I don't know. What do you think?
don't
I ask
know.
you. No,
I
no.
think
but
that
but I
only-
think what you think. I mean, what you believe or what you What we are in a world, or maybe you say there was never a time when human beings were not here. The whole cosmos began with human beings. You can say that, but nowadays science don't get that as a good answer, because in his narrative, for example, that we say is that the cosmos, even Earth, was here a lot of time before human beings were around.
But even them say there was what's the terms for great explosion, or what's
Big Bang.
Big Bang. So just
there
one
is
moment,
a good question
the Big
in
Bang
science. No, the science asks what was before the Big Bang,
so
and they don't have an answer.
They don't have an answer. So it's
but it's
easy.
not the same.
They don't have a nice answer. So someone should make this Big Bang. How it can happen from nothing?
I told you that we can see in vacuum that out of nothing, at least from the physics perspective, you get short-term particles. How it comes? This science can say for sure, because he found it in laboratories.
Okay, from this definition, you or some subject is watching for them, and it comes from their hope.
From their hope?
Hope.
Let's say I'm a scientist and I'm in a laboratory, and in this laboratory I make a vacuum and I see the particles from time to time. Okay, I have a probability, and some time these particles exist only because I perceive them.
I think that it's point of view which has a right.
No, it's
for
legitimate
existence.
Point of view. I don't say it's nonsense. I try to understand it. I would ask you if you think that when there were no me and no other scientists,
there was no time.
There was no
you.
What? There was no time in history of the cosmos.
Without I, this will be more common.
Okay, so you says the time and let's say the Big Bang and all these events starts only when there is a perceiver or an observer or a human being, or you say before human beings.
Okay, you know the idea of non-duality.
Yes.
Or you said holism many times today.
Yes, I know this idea.
So at some point the duality happened when someone who perceived and something what is perceived appears.
Yes, it's a big question, and I think we investigated many years here not here in North Madar, mainly in Jerusalem. The question was, if this cosmos, if this earth is coming out of non-duality, how separation and dualism came into the world? How we could separate things and look at them not as one whole, but as two separate entities. And we had some answers to this. Some answers. Ilana, that is writing now a book about numbers, that was the main intention in our exploration of numbers. How come that in the number system came a state that you can separate number from number? And it it's hard for me to speak about it here, but we explore it.
I hear you, but it looks for me that numbers come next. Like, you know, the
Pythagoras thought that numbers are first.
Lao Tzu.
Lao Tzu, the Chinese.
Одно породило два. One gave birth to two. Two gave birth to three. Three created whole variety of things. Maybe it's not the way you know it, but it's quite famous.
It's very similar. Where we think that from four,
Like,
it's
whole
spread
variety.
all around, and there is only 10 numbers, and all the other are variations of these 10.
So it's the next step. I'm talking with you about one created two. Subject and
subject and
what's
object.
Subject and object.
Okay.
Yes. And
I don't believe that objects were only when. I do believe that stones and flowers and everything was here before.
But you see, it's if everything the connected.
Okay.
There could not be. Where is the subject in this case?
It's an appearance of subject. It's not a real subject. It's not a real separated, isolated subject. It's only
And object?
again.
How about object?
Again, the same. It's only appearances of subject and object that are moving like the waves, the sea waves. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's only appearances of they are on the water. The water is the base, and on this thing you have this movement, but it's not a real wave that you can take it with you. It's only appearances of waves.
If it's only appearance, there should be something inside. What appears? Understand?
No, in the water wave, it's very easy to see that you have the water wave is the same water as the water without waves.
I agree, but
only the atoms goes like this.
Да, but we begin our talk today with my question: what's waving? And you can't say that.
No, because waving in physical meaning is interruption in a ether, in a medium.
But there is no ether, so
no. Okay, we didn't solve the problem of light. I didn't say I don't have a solution to what is waving in the light.
No,
I don't have solution for that. I don't say.
Да. Ну так это the same with the whole.
With
the whole.
Whole?
Whole world. So what is appearing?
I think we are going in circles. I
Да,
don't see. Maybe about existence, I don't have a good answer. I admit.
Okay. Ладно. And
Maybe say what. Okay, I think
Okay.
I heard what you think, or I think I understood. You say, in a way, that only when you have subject and object, there is something that is perceiving and something that is perceived, and only then you may have what? Existence. Okay, so existence is depending on perceiver and perceived, on the fundamental split between subject and object. Before this, you don't have existence. I say.
Okay.
accurate what you think?
Примерно.
Примерно.
I'm trying to put it's like that me by perceiving defined the reality, or subject defines the reality.
Okay, I hear. I don't say accept.
So in this case they're connected, so they're not separated.
The perceiver and the perceived.
Yeah, because the perceiver is defining that.
Okay, Krishnamurti said it in another way, that the observer is the observed. He said it many times.
This is I'm not. I don't understand.
You
it,
don't
what,
understand.
I know.
Okay.
Because it's not look like this. You see, this is me. I'm observing you. It's not the same. Or this is video camera. It's observed you. Also, it's not looks like you are the same.
Krishnamurti said it on the psychological, on the spiritual, or psychological, on the consciousness level. That if I look at you through jealous and hate and you name it, I get from you something that is echoing this perspective of mine. I don't see you as you are.
No, in this case it's very close to what I'm saying. You define me as like your enemy, for example, but I'm not your enemy, I'm maybe your friend.
Yes.